Welcome, lovelies. This is Love Speaks, a poem for you today by Rosemerry Wahtola Trommer. And you can find her at 100fallingveils.com. Why I wear tall brown boots every day. In my tall brown boots, I can walk into any room, any fear, any graveyard, any loss. I zip up those tall brown boots and I become a woman I trust. A woman who knows how well protected feet somehow make it easier for the heart to stay open. In my tall brown boots, I could even meet betrayal, could shake that two-faced hand, and know where I stand, could walk toward love. No matter which way I walk, could walk ever closer to myself. I'm going to repeat that last line one more time. No matter which way I walk, could walk ever closer to myself. Oh, that's very powerful. Poetry is powerful. Just before I did this talk, I went for a walk along Nature Alley, as I am prone to call it, which I've talked about before. It's a little strip of land, tiny, adjacent to an alley next to the railroad tracks, just a block over from my home. And all I really need is a nice dose of green, blessings from the trees to remind me that I am divine and I am human and I am connected with all that is. And it came to me exactly what to speak about today. And that's about these tall brown boots that Rosemerry speaks of. And can't you just imagine zipping them up, protecting your feet, which helps to protect your heart because you can walk anywhere? It's a metaphor, right? I find it very powerful for boundaries. And actually, I was reading Rosemary's thread of comments that are made after this poem is posted. And she mentioned that she always goes barefoot in those tall brown boots. So I thought, right. That makes me think of, yes, we have our boundaries. We protect our feet wherever we walk. And we go barefoot, which means to me that we allow ourselves to be free-spirited, to really let ourselves be free. And it makes me think of the fact that boundaries allow us to be free. So Brene Brown says this, that unless you have boundaries, you actually cannot be compassionate. So boundaries allows one to be compassionate. And when I think about it, I can see how that works. So if I don't have boundaries and I'm becoming enmeshed in other people's lives and everything is getting sticky and I can't speak my truth and they can't speak their truth, I can definitely see how I would have a hard time being compassionate for the other, because now I'm overwhelmed. Now I'm not taking care of myself. And now I'm being drawn into living a life that meets the demands of other people And so how can I possibly be compassionate? Do you see that? So, yeah. I had an experience in the past couple of days with my spouse, and we worked out some things between us, established some boundaries, and it did establish or reestablish the flow of compassion, of understanding, and of unconditional love between us. We are building a wonderful marriage, and we're very proud of us. So this is my call to action for all of you. Where do you need to look at your boundaries? Where do you need to speak up? Where have you been silent or told yourself that it's easier to just, take one for the team and not say anything? Actually, you build a much stronger team when you do speak up. So where do you need to speak up? Where do you need to point out your needs to others, or listen to the needs of others and see where they need support upholding their boundaries? And this, my lovelies, is how we build community, by really hearing and listening to one another and really allowing ourselves to be heard. Giving ourselves permissions to speak our truth and be heard. Ciao for now.